doing people one-to-one, helping with anxiety and stress, and I decided actually I wanted to break away from one-to-one and start to build a community that could help worldwide. So I was doing it all on Zoom, and that was the only platform we had at the time, and there was COVID and all those other bits and pieces. Everyone relied on Zoom, and then GoBrunch came along, and it's been absolutely brilliant to build a community with different rooms. So I'll say hold on to your hats with some of the things I've experimented. Hopefully I could describe my journey and some of the pitfalls I fell down, so everybody else can learn from my mistakes as well as to the things that I've done well. So I started off GoBrunch with just a regular room, and I thought, right, I've got this business called Wolf Mindset, and a community is beginning to grow, so I need a place to put the people to meet up. So it started off with just a room, and unfortunately the way my imagination goes, it just kept on expanding, and I thought, you know what I want to do, because we're learning here, and there's so many different things that we're beginning to do, why not build a whole university? So I said, brilliant. So then I spent around a month of building a virtual university. Right, so here is sort of the starting point, and I just thought, well, I'll plonk them in the middle of the university. And then I just kept on creating rooms, and the trouble with me is I can't stop creating and have new ideas, so I have to try and curb it. So what I have is I have my one-to-one rooms down the bottom. So if people want to see me or clients want to see me, they will go in that room. No one else can enter that room because you can only have a maximum amount of people, which is great. So if you click on those arrows, you go into a one-to-one room, and you're there depending on what you're going for. Now you can see on the right hand side, which is where my cursor is, if you can see it, is a colourful room. And that's where I see companies for e-colours, which is a personality indicator thing. So you get companies, and you can get the different colours in different spaces as they're talking. And what's great about GoBrunch is, whilst you're talking about the area you're discussing, when you want to break them into breakout rooms, they go into their own personal room designed for that personality, and it's amazing. So the Reds, who are doers, will go into the red room, and it's all kind of designed how you'd expect the doers to like that room. So there's 4 different rooms for the different colours, and companies love that. You know, they get to know each other, you know, their own personalities in the different rooms, and then you can mix them back up together. So you've got separate rooms for different things that's going on. Now on the right hand side, just above that, you've got a coffee place that we sometimes come along on a Sunday morning to have a coffee. And then going up, you've got a hypnosis room and a yoga room for, you know, if I haven't got a yoga teacher at the moment, but one day if I get a yoga teacher, that's where they'll go. Now, as you can see at the top, you've got the circle, kind of like a big circle room. That is, so I've got, the way my company works is I've got 2 areas. I've got what's called the Lone Wolf Club, people who feel helpless and lost. They join, and that's a free membership. So what they do is they get access to certain amount of these rooms to mingle, to connect, and it's a wonderful way to do it. What a nice place to have. And what else is good is I don't need to be there all the time. As we know, some of these rooms they can be open 24 hours a day, and you can just keep them open. But some of the rooms are only accessible by those who are in the wolf pack, I call them, who pay the membership. And then we do things once a month, and we talk about psychology, or we go on different adventures. So I've got the room at the top, and that's only accessible to them. Now, and again, if you guys, hopefully this guys will help you, but this is a journey that I've used GoBrunch for. I decided to do a podcast, so I created a room to do podcasts. So you've got 2 big circles, me and my guest. And what is wonderful about this that you can't really get on other platforms. Zoom, obviously, you can get the 2 squares and everyone else, you know that they're there. But this is wonderful because you've got the 2 circles, you've got yourself and your guest speaker. But this is what I like about it. What a lovely privilege it is for invitation for certain people, and you set an amount of people that can be invited, and that's it. So it's kind of like that feeling of, and you know, that oh wow, I'm a VIP, I've managed to get into this room with this guest speaker. And they sit around on the smaller circles around on these seats here. And the decision is, it can be either that they ask questions verbally, but I generally actually just hints and tips to keep their mics off, because they forget that it's on, then they're making a cup of tea or something and you can hear all sorts of noise in the background. But actually I just use a chat function for them to ask questions, and then you can at the right time look at the chat and then and then introduce those questions to the guest speaker. We could pop into the Howling Tavern and have a few drinks here. So this is where you can have sort of quiz nights and have a laugh and get people to come in and relax. Because of the amount of things that I keep on doing and creating, I couldn't keep on making more rooms. I was like, I can't make any more rooms. I haven't got any more space. So I've created a room called the Adaptive Conference Room, which is where I will change the room depending on the subject. It's like a full moon room where we can sit around and talk. However, this room has been a quit smoking room. It's been a weight loss room. We've played a fun health room called Squid games and stuff like that, where everyone's got to compete and all that sort of stuff. But what I've decided to then do is this adaptive room. If you want to make some of your things fun, I saw earlier you guys were using Mentimeter, things like that is great fun. What I decided to do for some of these events using GoBrunch was create 3 rooms above this, and you have to pick an arrow. So as a group you had to pick an arrow and it would take you to a separate room, and in each room was a YouTube video pre-recorded with a quiz. And each quiz, one of them was easy, medium and hard, and obviously there's a result for the quiz that you do. So and that's what we did. We decided to do little quizzes for each one, and there was a reason that it was easy, medium and hard. It was kind of based on sort of the Squid game, the theories, which you probably might have seen the program. So that's how I use it.